What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, we are talking about order of operations. So to remember about order operations, no matter how big, how daunting, how monumental that problem looks, you're going to do one step at a time. And so this might take some time and effort, but trust me, if you follow GEMDAS and you do one step at a time, you're going to be in great shape to solve any, any order of operations problem. So let's go ahead and try this problem together. Remember, you might see this and go, I just see a bunch of numbers, so I give up. But guess what? You just have to do this one step at a time. And so we're given this problem. We have 60 divided by, and then in parentheses, we have 12 plus 3. And then we also have times 3 to the power of 2, or 3 squared, plus 4. And so we know that in GEMDAS, we're going to start with our grouping symbols. And so if you get that first step down, you are one step closer because you're doing 12 plus 3, giving you 15. And so just like we said in the previous video, what you're going to do is you're going to do one step and then rewrite the entire problem. So we ask ourselves, do we have any more grouping symbols? And the answer is no. So next up on the list are the exponents. And so a really great strategy is write out your exponents in expanded form. So we have 3 to the power 2. So I'm going to write that out as 3 times 3, giving me 9. So I've now done 2 steps. Out of this giant problem we saw, we just did 2 steps. So we're getting ever so close, but remember to rewrite the entire problem. So now as we get ever closer to this, coming up with a simplified version of this problem, our next step, we realize we're going to multiply or divide whichever comes first. And so when I read this problem, left to right, we realize that division comes first. So we're going to do the division first. So we do 60 divided by 15. So I can do long division for this. It'll come out to 4. Or I can count by 15. So I count 15, 30, 45, and then 60 give me 4. And then I'm going to rewrite the entire problem. So I'm going to bring down the times 9 plus 4. You can realize that I'm not done with multiply or divide yet. If I go left to right, the dot means I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to do 4 times 9, which is going to give me 36. I'm going to rewrite the whole problem. And then you guessed it, I have add or subtract left. And so for this one, I have 36 plus 4, giving us 40. And so what you've done is you've successfully done one step at a time to make it through the entire problem. Let's go and try this one now. And so you might go, Mr. Peterson, how am I ever going to do this? One step at a time. You got this. So first step is we're going to do grouping symbols first. So you can see we have a lot of different grouping symbols. What I'm going to choose to do is to do the 8 plus 2 first at the top. That's going to give me 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the entire problem around it. So I wrote 10, and then I did my parentheses with my exponent of 2. I rewrote the fraction bar. I'm rewriting everything down. So I just did one step. You are officially one step closer to coming up with a solution. So now that we have this, what we're going to do is we're still going to take care of the grouping symbols. In this case, I'm just going to keep focusing on the numerator here. So the numerator is 10 squared. I can write that out expanded form. So if I write that out expanded form, 10 times 10, that's going to give me 100. So I'm going to write 100 in the numerator, and we are done with the numerator for right now. But you can see that we have some more grouping symbols. We know that the fraction bar is a grouping symbol, and I have grouping symbols in the denominator. So let's go to focus on the denominator. So we're going to do everything in the parentheses first. So I'm going to do 4 plus 1, which is going to give me 5. So you can see how I rewrote this problem. 100 is my numerator, and then my denominator is 5 to the power of 2. And so what we got going on here is that we have some more work to do in the denominator. Remember, we are one step closer. It's all you can do. So I ask is for you to do one step at a time. So we still have some more grouping. Let's do 5 to the power of 2. We can write that as 5 times 5, which gives us 25. And so I'm going to rewrite the whole problem. And you notice something, we're getting so close to being done. We have this last part, we have our fraction bar. So our fraction bar is going to tell us that we're going to figure out how many times does 25 go into 100. And in my calculations, the answer is going to be 4. So 25 goes into 100 4 times. And then I'm going to bring down my addition. And what I'm going to do is, we are so close, please don't stop, because you're just simply left with 4 plus 4, which is going to give us 8. And so what we've done is we've taken advantage of GEMDAS. Do one step at a time. That's all you can do. Don't do multiple steps at the same time, because you're going to get lost in numbers. It's not about how fast that you do this problem. It's about that you're showing each step that you do, and that you're doing each step as accurately as possible.